Guys, so after viewing the video of Howie Mandel and his OCD, there are some very clear functional impairments in his life because of the OCD, and he has impairments in his social, in his work, in his family life. I specifically learned in this video about how specific these obsessions can be. For example, he is particularly obsessed with germs in his hands and also specifically in the floor. For example, he's unable to shake people's hands. He has to fist pump people because he uses the back of his hand rather than the palm of his hand. And I mentioned the floor because there was an example there where they were on their way to a vacation. They were about to get in a plane, and because his daughter happened to just touch him with the bottom of her shoe, he basically could no longer get in the plane and had to go home and shower and change because he just felt dirty. So I mean, when you get to that point, you know, it's something that is definitely causing major distress. The diagnostic criteria that I saw him specifically discuss or demonstrate was the obsessive compulsive disorder, the symptoms. He did spend a lot of time. He did have a lot of compulsive behaviors that he was doing. He basically was doing a lot of things to protect himself from the anxiety surrounded by his obsession. Like I said, he was fist pumping people instead of shaking hands. He even went to the point that he got a new home so that he could be away from the germs that his family could potentially bring to him. So I think that there's nothing major. I don't think there's no higher impairment than the fact that you can't live or reside with your family members because of your obsession. And he also had additional compulsive behaviors, like each and every time that he has to go on stage, he has to have absolutely brand new makeup. And also the fact that he decided to shave his head just because basically, you know, it made him feel more comfortable without having those germs that he would have to touch every time that he showered. So I think, you know, the fact that he also would go around and leave a room if anyone is sick, or including his wife, I think that says a lot about, you know, his true obsessions. So if I were to be working with him, when I did a little bit of research, I found that exposure and response prevention therapy is very effective with people who have OCD. And that's particularly because you are exposing the individual to something that to the obsession, something that they're really afraid of, something that's causing major anxiety. And then you're helping them prevent the compulsive behavior that they do. And so the idea in this therapy is that the longer that they are exposed, the more manageable that it becomes to not do the compulsive behaviors, because the compulsive behaviors in a way are reinforcing the idea that your brain is sending your body that you are in some type of danger, in major distress or in major fear. When you do the compulsive behaviors, it's reinforcing that idea. And so when you do the exposure and response prevention therapy, it eventually helps to lower the anxiety by reducing the compulsive behaviors. So thank you.